Okay, Hayes Mega here, and here we are in the garage again, working on the Suron. So there's what the Suron looks like right now. No jack shaft in it, okay? Actually, it wasn't too hard to take off. This is my second time taking it out. It's a lot easier taking it out than it is putting it in, I'll tell you that. Okay. Let me go get a glove. This stuff is nasty. It's got grease all over. Okay, so here's the dealio. The other day I ordered a new jackshaft from eBikeZilla. Lunicycle didn't have them. They're cheaper at Lunicycle, so I would have preferred to get them at Lunicycle, but whatever, it's fine. It's hard to get freaking parts for the Suron. Okay. So there's your jackshaft right there. Okay, pulley looks okay. It looks like there's something kind of messed up in the middle here, like there's some kind of mark on it. It's kind of odd. That should be okay though. Okay, there's the sprocket. Okay, so what I found out, so I removed the spacers. Okay, so this is one of the spacers right here. There's another spacer right here. Okay, so what I found out is that the large pulley, the primary drive side, is bad. Okay, so I can feel that bearing is very gritty. Okay, I know you guys can't feel that, but I can tell you it feels very gritty. It still rolls, that's why it still rolls, you know. Very gritty. Okay, the other side is fine. This one is kind of gritty too, but this one moves a little bit better. Okay, maybe both of them are bad, I don't know. I'm pretty sure the bearings are bad. So, I mean, I guess one thing I could do is just replace the bearings. They just look like a regular rollerblade bearing, but we would have to actually take it out. But so what Hayes Mega's gonna do is I'm gonna wait till I get the brand new jack shaft from eBikeZilla, and then we're just gonna swap the sprockets out, okay, and the pulley out. And then what I can do is replace the bearings on this, okay. So I'll have a spare one ready, so that way I won't have downtime, okay? So one thing I've noticed about this bike is have spare parts on hand, okay? If you can buy any kind of, the parts are very cheap for this bike, so that's the beauty of it, you know. You can repair it pretty cheaply, you know, but the parts don't last very long on this bike. I've noticed, but I'm not gonna lie, his Mega was very rough on this bike. Okay, so if I stick my finger in there, I can feel it. See, look at that. See, it doesn't even want to turn. It's very gritty. So I think pretty sure that bearing is done. This one, see, this one is still smooth. See how easily that spins? If I do the same thing on the other hand, see, it kind of doesn't want to move. So I'm pretty sure it's the primary drive bearing on the jack shaft. Okay. Now what Hades Mega thinks might have contributed to the bearing getting damaged is I might have over tightened the belt. Okay, so I may have made it too tight this time. Okay, so before it was too loose and I broke the belt. So I said, like, hey, let's crank it up all the way, man. Make it as tight as you can make it, and I guess it made it fail at some point, or it just got old, you know. Maybe you just need to replace these bearings every once in a while. Okay, this one seems okay, but if I was to replace them, I would just replace them both. So you're already there, you might as well do them. They look like they're the exact same bearings. I do not know where to get the bearings from. They do not sell the jack shaft bearings, but I can extract the bearings, and then we can see where we what kind of bearing it is. Okay, it looks like just a regular rollerblade bearing. So, but I will shoot a separate video when I disassemble this guy. So basically, it's if you guys are wondering how this thing works, there's a bearing on each side. I think it's only there should only be one bearing. I think, or maybe there's two. Yeah, be interesting to take the whole thing apart. I don't know what kind of. It looks like there's two bearings on this side. This is very long. Okay, well anyway, Haze Mega will dissect this in a future video, okay? But there should be a spacer in here, okay, that connects the two bearings, okay? And then you got a bearing on each side. And then you have a dust seal, okay? I think this one goes right here. And then you have a spacer, so you got the dust seal, I'll put it in lightly, so. Okay, you got dust seal, and then you got the spacer, okay? And then you got another one on the other side, which is right here, okay? I think the longer one goes here, yeah. I think the longer one goes here. Okay. So yeah, that's what I suspect is bad, okay? But we won't find out until until I get the new jack shaft, and then we just replace it, and then I take this one apart. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna do. When I get the new one, we're gonna swap the sprocket out and the pulley. I'm pretty sure it's this bearing right here. That's bad because it's really gritty. It's not really wanting to move all that much. So I'd imagine some of the ball bearings are like kind of loose in there and like just whatever, you know. So that's a no-go. Or there could be something going on with the inside of it. I'm not sure, but this one, see, this one is very smooth. I can tell you now that the inner race is moving. Okay, this one, not moving at all, dude. It's just the inner race is moving around my finger. Okay. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure that this bearing is bad. Now there are another 4 sets of bearings on your swing arm that you might want to be aware of. Okay, so I'm just going to show you this side, but you can see here. Okay, so you can kind of see here that there's a bearing in here, okay, on your swing arm. And that looks like it's kind of gritty too. So I probably might want to change that in the future. Okay, but I don't think that's the problem. These ones still kind of move. So what I think is there's 2 bearings. There's one bearing on one side and there's one bearing on the other side. And then there's 2 bearings on the other side. There's supposed to be like a washer and some kind of washer in between them too. So that's what I looked at in the parts diagram. There's a bearing here, and then there's a bearing on the other side. It's like 2 roller blade bearings. I think they all use the same kind of bearings. I think it's like a 12mm bearing or something. Okay, so yeah, that is that. So I got the swing arm out, so the bike will just be sitting here until we can get the new jack shaft. Okay, so I will make a separate video where I dissect the jack shaft, and then we will try to take that bearing apart and see if it was really bad. We'll take all the grease out of it and stuff, and then we'll see. Okay, so that's what I suspect is bad, is this the bearing on the pulley. Okay, this guy on this side. This one is bad. Now I could probably just replace that bearing, you know. I can take it to like an auto parts store or like a bearing shop, and then they can replace that bearing. So, but I think the best thing to do is I already ordered a jack shaft already, so we're gonna wait for it to come in. I'm gonna swap out all these parts, and then we'll take this apart, and then we'll take the bearings to a shop of some sort and see if we can. I think they're just regular rollerblade bearings. Though it looks just like a regular bearing to me. And then we will we'll replace them. Okay, so and then we'll actually see what's in there. I'll show you guys what's inside there. Okay, if you guys are wondering how to rebuild one of those, I'd imagine the shaft. There's probably nothing wrong with the shaft. The shaft is fine. It's the bearings that are bad. So I know one of these things. The next time I order parts, and if they have them, I will order the swing arm bushings too. We'll see how. That doesn't look like it's too hard to undo. I think we just have to take these wires sticking out here, and then the whole swing arm comes out. Okay, so it's kind of weird. Everything uses like roller or ball bearings, like roller ball or ball. Yeah, it's a ball bearing. So it's a ball bearing, kind of like a roller blade wheel. Okay, so that's the dealio. So for now we will just I will wait for the jack shaft to get here. It's still on the way. It's coming from Canada, so it might take like a week, man. So, well, maybe in the meantime we can try to fix this. But it's kind of a shame. It's only like one bearing that's bad. So I will only really need to replace one. But it's like we're already there. You should probably replace both of them. You know, I don't think it would be very hard to replace them either. So, but. Yeah, we'd have to take the pulleys out and everything. Okay. Anyway, so that's my findings. That's what I suspect is wrong, but we won't be able to tell until we replace the jack shaft or the bearing, and then put it back on the bike. Okay. So so that's the dealio. That's what's going on here. So I'm waiting on parts to replace this. I don't know where you can get just the bearing. So. But when we take this apart, we can just get the bearing. So, but I think it's better to just get a brand new one. We'll put that one in for now, okay? And then then we'll know once we have everything back together, if that was the culprit, if it was the jack shaft bearings, okay? And then when we have all this stuff swapped out, I will dissect the jack shaft, the old one. And then we'll take a closer look at the parts. Okay, so, but that's what I suspect. This one is bad. Okay, it's kind of hard to tell now that it's not on the bike and it's not making clank. It doesn't really make clanking sounds and stuff, you know. But that's what I suspect. Okay, it could be the swing arm bushing too, swing arm bearings, but the swing arm bearing looks okay. I don't really see anything wrong with it. They rotate okay. But yeah, it's a lot of stuff, and they're spinning real fast, you know. And Hazemaker rides his bike really fast, so that's one thing that breaks, I guess, the bearings. But Hazemaker's bike leads a hard life, I'll tell you that. All right, okay, Hazemaker out. That's the update for my broken Sauron video. I believe this is the culprit right here. Okay. And then when we get the new one, we'll find out if this assembly was the problem, and then we'll actually take the whole thing apart. All right, here's me out.